for you guys today. Now, on the other side of that coin, right? On the other side of that game, we have a team by the name of LA Chargers. Bolt up, as they like to say, hashtag bolt up. That beautiful baby blue and yellow. I love it when they go back to the throwback navy. Woof, that gets me jollies going. Flashbacks of LT days. But the Chargers might be one of the most slept on team guys in the NFL. The Chargers might be one of the most underrated teams in the NFL. So on the other side of the coin, as much as we're talking up the Bengals, they have to win this game. This is a playoff game. This is this, and this. Is this a prove-it game for the LA Chargers? Is this a game the Chargers finally get on primetime TV? They finally get to show the world that they are the dogs amidst the legends. The LA Chargers guys are sitting at 6-3 on the season. Many people said, oh, they haven't played nobody. That 6-3 record's flawless. It's flawed, I should say. They do have wins over the Raiders, the Panthers, the Saints, the Browns, the Titans, and the Broncos. That's right, the Broncos. Mark D's Broncos. Sitting at 6-3. When you just look at the games, when you just look at the records and you look at the games that they played, yeah, 6-3, but who have they played, right? That kind of seems to be the story of the year. Yeah, they're 7-2. Yeah, they're 8-1. Yeah, they're 9-0. But who have they played, right? Same thing with the Chargers. But with the Chargers, you have to look beyond the box score. You have to look beyond they're playing the Panthers and the Saints and the Browns and the Titans and the Raiders. Look beyond that, right? Watch the games. Look at the stats. Look how dominant that defense has been all season long. They're holding people to single digits game after game after game. Yes, they gave up 17 points to the Kansas City Chiefs. It happens. They gave up 17 points to the Titans. It was just a fluke. It was kind of a mop-up duty, late game to pad the stats just a little bit. Let's just be honest. They dominated that game. Beyond that, it's 9 points here, it's 10 points here, it's 11 points here. The defense is great. Khalil Mack, did you guys forget he is in the NFL still? He is out there. He is doing work. Him and Joey Bosa are yin and yang. They're smacking some bitches around. Let's just be honest. The Chargers defense is top 10 in every stat category, and overall they're ranked 5th in the NFL. And not only on top of that, the offense knows their role. They know their role, jabroni. They know they are in there to nickel and dime it down the field, milk the clock, keep the defense on the sideline, let them get health or fully 100% rested. So when they come back in, it can be a 3-and-out, wham, bam, thank you, man. Greg Roman's offense has been efficient and built to make timely plays, and the Chargers are executing that to be perfect, right? Sorry that the Baltimore Ravens couldn't do that, but you know what? The LA Chargers are doing it perfectly. Justin Herbert has been the real deal. I believe Jim Harbaugh called him a half man, half beast. He's a freaking man bear pig. If you don't know what a man bear pig, go back to South Park and watch it. I love it. Al Gore episode. Guys, the LA Chargers are the real deal. They don't need this prove it game. Yeah, they're going to go out there and probably wax that ass on primetime TV. Many people are going to be up there jumping on their dicks, right, and riding it. But the simple fact of the matter is they're the real deal. They are the real deal right now. Now I understand. I see it. They haven't played nobody. Well, guess what? They are going to be battle tested toward the end of the season. They play the Chiefs again. They already played the Chiefs. They lost to the Chiefs 17-10, but a very, very winnable game. They played the Buccaneers, Buccaneers that people are selling. You should be buying that team. NFC South is not out of reach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then they played the Baltimore Ravens and then the Denver Broncos. They have a tough back half of the schedule. They're going to be ready. Jim Harbaugh is going to get that team ready for the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. Do not try to put words in my mouth, Mark, Hoffy, everybody else out there. I'm not saying that they're a Super Bowl contender. But if you look at up-and-coming teams, if you look at teams like the Commanders, like the Detroit Lions, like the Chargers, like potentially the Arizona Cardinals, like the Houston Texans, They are the most dangerous upcoming team. When you look at next season, this is a team that you have to circle. This is a team you're like, I see you, big dogs. This is a team that you have to start putting in the Super Bowl conversation probably next season and beyond. Not this season. They are damn good this season. They're going to potentially upset a wild card team when they're sitting there in the 5th seed and they play a 4th seed like the Houston Texans and or who else could be the fourth seed? Trying to think of potential playoff winners. It's going to be the Chiefs, Bills, Steelers. So it's going to be the Houston Texans more than likely. They're going to upset the Houston Texans. And if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs and the Ravens and like the Bills, this is a team that I do not want to play. If it comes down to week 18 and you have to play your starters or not to jump up to the 3rd seed and not be the 4th seed, if I'm the Buffalo Bills or the Ravens, I am playing my starters because I don't want to play the Chargers. I don't. But they are a good team. They are a competitive team. They have nothing to prove on Sunday Night Football. They are going to go out there with a chip on the shoulder thinking they got to. But they have nothing to prove. Let's just be flat honest. They have nothing to prove. So, guys, let me ask this question. How good do you think the Chargers are? Do they have to prove it on Sunday night of how good they are? Let's ask that question. Treetops is in the chat, says, true. They are scary. And he says he's a 90s baby. Okay, my man, I'm an 80s baby. So we got a 70s baby, 80s baby, and a 90s baby. Man, Treetops, wrap your head around this. I know you're a 90s baby, so that makes you what? Early 30s. I coach kids, high school kids, that was born in 2012, 2011, 2010. They don't even know what 9/11 was. What is that? One of them told me, we're in the Great Depression. I'm thinking the 1920s, right back when the Great Depression was. No, they're talking like the recession in 2008. What? We old. James says Harbaugh definitely has them believing this could very well be their breakthrough game. And honestly, James, you might be right. If the Chargers go out there and say, this is our prove-it game, we're going to show it to the world, we're going to beat down the Bengals, and then next week on Monday Night Football, they're back at home, and they play the Ravens, and they beat down the Ravens, all of a sudden this team has 5 wins in a row with wins over the Bengals and the Ravens the last 2 weeks. Slow it down, baby. Now, if they do beat the Ravens on Monday Night Football in 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. Is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Whatever. Monday Night Football, when they play the Ravens, let's say that does happen. I'm going to have to recant everything that I said that they're not a Super Bowl caliber team right now. If you go out and beat the Ravens on your home turf on Monday Night Football, and then you play the Kansas City Chiefs 2 weeks after that on Sunday Night Football, and you battle them again, 17 again, 10 score again, let's say you lose. All of a sudden, like, oh, shit. Slow it down, baby. They're good. They're dangerous. But I think next year is like is their year. James says, you cannot fault a team for playing their schedule. The biggest thing for them is they're not playing down to competition. They beat the same Raiders team that beat the Ravens. Exactly. They're not only beating them, James, they are making them frustrated. They make teams out there frustrated, and then they start to try to play out of their minds, right? It's like when you are playing your dad, right? Let's say you're out there, you're shooting hoops, right? Your dad's just hitting everything. Boom, boom, boom. And your game is to go down to the block and body him up and do a little hook shot. All of a sudden you miss one and your dad's hit 2-3 jumpers in a row and you're down by 3 or 4, 5, 6 points. You're like, damn. I know my game's come out here and body him, but I'm going to start shooting the tray. I got to catch up. That's what teams do versus the Chargers, right? The Chargers defense is so dominant. They make them change their whole game plan. And the Chargers offense is so executed perfectly. Nickel and diamond down the field. Well, yeah, we can hit a play here or there, but we don't want to. We want to control the ball for 40 minutes in a game. All of a sudden, you get one possession in the first quarter. Second quarter rolls around. It's 10-0. You're like, man, we've had 2 possessions. First half is almost over. It's 10-0. We got to start doing something, right? And then all of a sudden, you're down 17-0. You're down 27-10. Yeah, the Chargers offense isn't going to boat race you, but they're going to nickel and dime you down the field. And they're going to make you mad. They're going to make you mad, and that's when you start losing games. Bolt Up 12 must be a Chargers fan. What's up, Bolt Up 12? Thank you for joining us today. He says Justin Herbert is playing like the best quarterback in the league the last few weeks. If we win the next few games, he'll be leading the MVP candidate. And I got to say, slow it down, baby. Slow it down. As Justin Herbert has been playing at a career level, right? Playing some of his best football to date. He is nowhere near the rest of the pack. He is nowhere even near Joe Burrow. Nowhere near Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff, Josh Allen. Nowhere near that guy. And honestly, Bolt Up 12, you do not want Justin Herbert playing at an MVP level. Now, let me rephrase that. You want him playing at an elite level, MVP level, but you do not want him putting up those stats, right? Because if he's throwing for 300 yards in a game, 400 yards in a game, that means the defense probably isn't doing their job. That means Greg Roman is kind of like, we need to boat race these guys. And that's where the Chargers team mentality falls apart. Chargers are built to dominate on defense, run the ball, and hit a big play once in a while. Not MVP type of play, right? So I'm not saying Justin Herbert's not a good quarterback. I'm not saying he is not a perfect fit for the Chargers and the system that they're running. He does not need to be MVP level, and I don't think he should ever be considered an MVP level playing with this system. Any quarterback, really. Derek says, this is like the Civil War little bro coming through. He naturally built a better running team. pretty much, right? John says, definitely slow it down on Justin Herbert's MVP race, right? Definitely slow it down, baby. Is that Herbert is playing very well, but not close to the top dog. Not even close. Not even close. But we have talked about the Chargers, guys. We've talked about the Bengals. We talked